Hi, I'm Kaylee, and today I'm going to tell you how I connect with publishers and how I get advanced reader copies. So over the years, I have been able to establish some pretty good working relationships with certain publicity departments and publishers and authors so that they will send me review copies and then I read and review their books so everybody's happy. Now I will say that none of these are like paid partnerships. None of these are paid promotions. These are all just circumstances where the publisher or author will send me a free copy of their book or maybe an ebook, just a PDF copy or something. And then in exchange, I give them a free and honest review. When I first started out on BookTube and I first started wanting to get review copies and advanced reader copies and stuff, I had no clue where to start. I was just like, how do they do it? How do they get the publishers to send them the books and the things? So I'm gonna give you some ideas. I'm gonna have some links down in the descriptions to different publicity departments and stuff that I work with. And hopefully you will get some ideas. So one of the best places to start is with Galley, because there are so many different publishers on there, so many different types of books, and they all have different criteria of who they will allow to do the reviews of their books. So some publishers, they don't care how many subscribers you have, they just want tons of reviews, so they'll just send out, ebooks to pretty much anybody. Other publishers are a little more picky, that if they're gonna send out an ebook, then they wanna make sure that you have so many subscribers and that you have such and such platform. So it kind of depends. You can put in a request on Galley and that publisher, based on their criteria, might accept your request and then you can read and review their book. Similar to Galley, there's also a book reviewing website called eDiscovery. This one tends to have more like self-published books or books from very small publishing houses. And so the criteria is actually much lower. Like if you had 200 subscribers, they don't care, that's fine. One of the other ways that I get books is, of course, just straight from the author. Sometimes this is a self-published author, and so you have to go through them. Or sometimes this is an author that has a publishing house and has an agent and everything. But I just happen to contact the author and ask them for a copy. Sometimes they just send it to me directly because authors are given a certain amount of ARCs that they can send out to whoever they want to. Or more often, the author will say, I don't have a copy to give you, but you can contact my marketing department at such and such email and you can ask them. So sometimes that's a really cool way to request a book that you really want. If you can get a hold of the author first, and then it's kind of like when you contact the publicity department for that publishing house, you already have the author's approval, as it were. Like you can say, such and such author told me to contact you to request a review copy. So it sort of, sometimes that probably doesn't really make a difference, but I feel like it makes the publicity department stand up and say, oh, okay, this is an email we need to respond to. This is a person we need to take seriously because they are already in contact with our author. They already have a foot in the door, as it were. Most of the books that I receive for review, or most of the inquiries that I get asking, hey, reviewer, would you like to review our book that we are promoting? Most of those come through some sort of publicity company, marketing company that is separate from the author or the publisher. They're just a third-party company that does publicity for lots of different publishers. One of the ones that I've been working with for many, many years is Media Masters Publicity. They are fantastic over there. Those ladies are wonderful. They probably have me on some kind of list over there or something where they know the types of books that I review, and so then they'll send me an email once a week or a couple times a week saying, hey, we have such and such book from National Geographic, from Disney, from Silver Dolphin Books, or whoever it is. They have dozens of publishing houses that they work with. And so then they will sort of tailor these inquiries to my reading tastes and the sorts of books that I've said yes to in the past. A few other companies that are similar to that I've been working with over the last few years is Book Publicity Services and the Publisher Spotlight for Myrick Marketing and Media. And I actually just joined the reviewers list for Books Forward. So if you look around, there are several of those kind of publicity departments, publicity companies that are probably looking for reviewers. And they work with a lot of different publishers for a lot of different genres and age ranges and everything. So they probably have something that you would want to review. Another one that I've worked with a lot the last couple of years is the Callisto Publishers Club. They do a lot of nonfiction books for the Rock Ridge Press. And that is why my nonfiction reading has completely skyrocketed in the last 2 years, because I get so many books from the Callisto Publishers Club that just look so interesting. I never used to read a lot of nonfiction, but suddenly all this nonfiction is available. And so I've been reading it a lot. Now I'm going to tell you about some of the publishers that I've been working with them directly. So I've been working with that publisher's marketing department. One of the publishers that I've been working with lately and have really loved is DC Zoom. These are DC comics that are geared towards middle grade or sometimes YA. Another one that I've worked with a lot lately is Workman Publishing. They have a lot of different imprints for different genres and different age groups and everything. One of them is the Algonquin Young Reader, which I've been reading a lot of their books lately. Future House Publishing is one that does a lot of middle grade and YA. And Familius does a lot of children's books with like little activities and all kind of fun stuff. Some other publishers that I've worked with are Quirk Books, Sweet Cherry Publishing, Candlewick Press, Kids Can Press, Fox Chapel Publishing, and Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. So those are just a few of the bigger name publishers that I've worked with over the last few years and have really, really enjoyed their books. A lot of these, I reached out to the publisher. I just went to their website and started looking through some of the books that they have in their catalog. And then you find that little Contact Us button. And you go in there and you really, really hope that there's some kind of email for marketing, publicity, something, or like to request review copies, email such and such, or, you know, for reviewer inquiries, you really, really hope that they have something like that on their contact page. And then you have someone that you can email and say, I'm really interested in this particular book by this author that I saw, you know, that you are promoting. When I send out that inquiry email, I always put in the type of books and genres that I love to read. I put in all my links to all my different social media where I post reviews, and I say how many subscribers I have. If I can, I say, I think my followers and my subscribers would really love to hear about your book. But of course, that's only if I really believe that you guys really want to hear about that book. So I'm immediately letting them know there is an audience here. There is a marketing opportunity to promote your book, and it's something that I'm excited about and I'm interested in. But I think probably the biggest thing is that you put together a professional inquiry email. So down in the description, I'm going to leave an example of what my inquiry email looks like and the different elements that I put in there to try to have as much of a professional vibe as I can when I send out these emails to professional people in a publishing house. You will probably notice that most of the publishers that I'm talking about here are children's book publishers, right? They mostly do children's books, middle grade, and YA because I read a lot of those. But also that's a pretty good place to get your foot in the door because they need reviewers. There's not a ton of people who want to review a baby board book on Amazon and on Goodreads and post a review about it, you know? Now, if you want to read the very latest Sarah J. Maas book, you're gonna have a lot harder time getting a review copy of that. If you wanna get an arc of the new Hunger Games book or something, then that's going to be a little more difficult. You're probably not going to get it. I'm sorry. So a lot of it just depends on the book that you are requesting. Is it a book that everybody and their mother is requesting? They don't have review copies to send out to everybody. Or is it a book that still looks really interesting to you, but it's not that well known? That's kind of my specialty. I love finding those like diamond in the rough, you know, little hidden nugget kind of books that nobody else is talking about. So you can absolutely ask for those really well-known books, but you might have better luck, certainly in the beginning, asking for slightly less well-known books from small little publishing houses that probably don't have a ton of review requests, and they are eager to send out review copies to reviewers who will give it a free and honest review. So those are just some ideas about how I get ARCs, how I get review copies. So hopefully that gave you some ideas. If you have any questions or any further ideas that I didn't talk about, please leave those down in the comments and we can talk about it some more. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.